is Emmanuel Remy, and I'm a member of Columbus City Council, and I'm happy to be joined today by Sherri Palmer, Program Manager of Keep Columbus Beautiful, to talk a little bit about what's going on right now with her program, what hopefully we can see in the future, and just get a little bit of an update, because litter seems to be not going away anytime soon, especially during a pandemic. So welcome. Nice to see you today, Sherri.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here and reach out to all of the people that are on the warpath about litter.
Thanks so much. You're doing a great job. Since the shelter-in-place orders were issued by the governor, many residents continue to contact us and express concerns about an increase in litter, unfortunately, and blight in our neighborhoods. So Sherri and I are going to sit here today and talk a little bit about what these concerns are, provide a few updates in the process. But let's start out with having you explain a little bit about what Keep Columbus Beautiful is and how it operates and that sort of thing for those that may have never heard of it before.
Wonderful. Well, we've been here close to 40 years. We are a city community improvement program under the Department of Public Service and Division of Refuse. And we also wear another hat. We are an affiliate of the national organization Keep America Beautiful. And with that comes best practices across the nation, with over 600 other like affiliates doing similar things, focusing on quality of life in our communities, environmental issues, recycling, beautification, litter, graffiti, all of those things that take away from having a vibrant community.
Makes a lot of sense. I know in our previous discussions, we talk a lot about Keep America Beautiful, and they're such a valuable resource, wouldn't you say, and kind of guidelines on how you operate, and especially during times of uncertainty like this coronavirus pandemic. So would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And we're very fortunate at this time to have the president, Helen Lohman, who brings a background from FEMA. So what a perfect leadership to have in place at a time like this. And with being an organization across the country that utilizes volunteers, we value them enormously, and it's important to make cautious and clear decisions on keeping our volunteers safe while still worrying about the safety and health of our communities. And she has done extensive research on litter particularly, which is the main core of how Keep America Beautiful started. And unfortunately, this virus lingers, and it has been seen in laboratory instances to linger on things like cardboard, plastic, metals for 3 and 4 days. So we, across the nation, have been hesitant to get our volunteers engaged in picking up litter for close proximity to a virus, and also the social distancing aspect. You know, a lot of litter, picking up litter, has been large groups, which brings community engagement together. And of course, not being able to do that, and then also being cautious about the actual litter itself on the street, puts us in a very thoughtful and very difficult situation.
So what can people do given all that? And we know that, gatherings are frowned upon and certainly not something that we're doing at this time. What can each individual person do that really wants to make a difference and wants to make an impact with some of the ways within their neighborhood that they could do?
We have always been a program that talks to the individual, as to what you personally, not others, can do to solve the problem. And in this case, people are home. People are encouraged to be outdoors. They are starting, with the warm weather coming, to look at their property, to cut their lawn, to do their landscaping if every citizen, every resident, homeowner, and every landlord who is owning properties that are renting can take care of their own property and take care of the litter that is on their property and perhaps right in the front in the public right of way, bag that litter and put it in their refuse container, wonderful. That goes a long way in taking care of our neighborhoods and, of course, our businesses. We would ask for the same cooperation. Clean your parking lot, put it away. Everybody's property being maintained by those who own it goes a long way in helping our problem.
Yeah, asking our landlords to step up as well, make sure that their properties, even if they're rented, are being maintained so that it contributes to everybody's well-being within the community. I think you brought up a really good point about bagging that trash and not just throwing random wrappers into the trash can. I know right now with the gloves, everybody using the gloves, that's another thing that when our trash machines are tipping, that actually can fly out if it's not bagged. So it's important that people do that, correct?
Absolutely. A lot of litter is the result of people not bagging their trash, not tying that bag. We have a wonderful automated system, but we have to do our part as the individual. And you mentioned gloves. Sadly, we are seeing blue gloves and face masks adding to the additional litter problem. And this is something we cannot stress enough. And with your backing and others, we have to remind citizens these are not things that should be disposed of on the street, on the sidewalk. They must go in a container. They should be bagged. This is the first place of a virus. You're using gloves, you're using masks. We want those disposed of very carefully and thoughtfully and not on public streets.
Would you recommend that people wear gloves and maybe even a mask when they're out cleaning up in their own area?
I would, yes. I mean, I think with the unknown of what litter has on it at this point, the more protection that you have between yourself and that littered item is very important.
That makes a lot of sense. So what is Keep Columbus Beautiful working on, and where can residents go for more information if they so choose?
We have a couple of things, council member. One, we are looking at a plan to be able to roll out that will address litter across the board evenly. As you know, as a partner with Columbus Litter League, our goal for that was to manage our city in 4 different areas, making sure that we were cleaning up the most littered areas. We still need to go back to that strategy, but look at it with less people engaged, less equipment being used, and how we can distance socially the people that would be involved and who would that be, and how we approach our community in getting engaged in that and making ourselves more accessible, hopefully outside of the warehouse, in traveling to places to accommodate people. So that's a detailed plan that needs to be thought through. And I would like to see us working more in line with our Division of Refuse and our infrastructure to get the way we're working on cleanups in line with how we're picking up trash and how we're doing potholes and using a set format that seems to work, and trying to overlay that with our program as well.
You know, we're here to support you and certainly want to make sure that you have all the resources that you need to effectively combat this, you know, throughout the community. What's the website for Keep Columbus Beautiful?
It is www.keepcolumbusbeautiful.org.
That's great.
And for Keep America Beautiful, it is the same, except that it's KAB.org.
Okay, great.
And I, not to, oh,
I was just going to ask, was there anything else you'd like to share?
there is the good news. Our city, you know, I want to thank all of our city employees who've been on the front lines for this, our refuse drivers, and certainly our infrastructure people. But the good news is we, every year in this spring, which is normally our litter season, our infrastructure management team is going to be very visible on the streets, tackling spring litter as they always do in a very formatted way. And they technically target our business corridors and our main arteries. So they'll be doing 125 different areas within the next few weeks.
Well, that's
So
awesome.
we will, as a community, at least be seeing first perception areas cleaner.
Yeah, that's great. I know that we were out last week at the Division of Refuse thanking our drivers, and certainly they're putting themselves at risk every single day as they go out and work on the front line. So we really appreciate all the Division of Refuse hard work as they take care of the trash around our city. I want to thank you on behalf of my colleagues at Columbus City Council. We appreciate all that you do, and certainly believe that your program is very paramount to the success of tackling litter within the city of Columbus. So thank you, Sherri. Thank you for taking the time to join today, and we'll look forward to some future updates.
Thank you. It's been an honor and a pleasure being on the same page and fighting the good fight. Thank you.
That's right. You have a great weekend. Thanks, Sherri.
You too.
Thanks.